Yes, I can give you guys this. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the two plugins that you need. Two plugins that you can kind of slap on every mix onto the melody as a whole that will make them sound drastically better.
Lately ain't hearing them. I sit in with the chicks and they clearing them. Only one God I ain't fearing them. Pulling up which look like Fast and the Furious. Guess got her wet now she watching my interview.
Day 15, 16. But anyway, we're some time into quarantine and it's official. As of like 6 o'clock. God, this camera's heavy, man. As of tonight, I believe, Cyprus is going into full lockdown mode for like 2 weeks, which means everywhere's closed except for like food shops, pet shops, and like pharmacies, and obviously the hospitals. But full lockdown mode in Cyprus. No schools, no restaurants, no cafes, no cinemas, nothing. So crazy. However, if you're planning on trying to make money online from music or anything, like you're gonna just do something that you build yourself, that you have a big online presence with, these are the times. I mean, it's not going to be often this happens, hopefully, but these are the times where like it doesn't hugely impact your sort of daily routine. I mean, if you have a lot of physical interactions that is reliant on the business, then fair enough. But if you're doing stuff like this where you're making beats and you're doing a lot of like online products and like electronic products, then as long as we have internet and as long as you have electricity, then it's not hugely affected. You can still stay in that routine, which is kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, I've got a few loops that I've hooked up, so I'm gonna go try and do something with them. Hey. Alright, let's put some half time on that. Needs one of those like short, snappy snares, something kind of realistic. That shall do the trick nicely. Hey. 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 Chee! That's it. That's it right there. I think I'm going to change this melody. I feel like that last bit comes in a bit too late. I think it needs to come in there. So what I'm going to do is shorten that. And the last thing, I'm going to add in a little perk. Nice little short eighth way. See all this decking, all these individual slats. This pergola. I've been building this for like the last 3 months. Like every single individual piece of decking we've had to put together. The base, the frame, everything. It's taking so long, but it's starting to look pretty good. And by the way, this is I didn't make this out of my own money. Like I say, I live with my girlfriend's dad and his wife, and they kind of let us live here for a little while whilst we get everything set up with the channel and while she gets herself sorted out with her stuff. So this is like in no way a flex. This is just literally just thought it's quite cool what they're making. So, and yeah, it's pretty good motivation. Let's put it that way. Alright, so one more little melody in. Alright, this is actually sounding okay. I'm gonna get this one finished and get it mixed. Yes, I can give you guys this. Alright, I'm gonna show you guys the 2 plugins that you need. 2 plugins that you can kind of slap on every mix onto the melody as a whole that will make them sound drastically better. If you listen to like, or if you work with a lot of samples or like loops from other producers and you kind of wonder how they get that kind of more realistic sound, that kind of really nice texture on the loops, this is how they do it. And the reason why I want to share this is because like you can do this on any beat. I've tried doing it on R&B beats, trap beats, you know, like chilled beats. It tends to work on pretty much any beat. It just gives it a really, really nice feel. Yeah, let me just show you. So what you're gonna do is, obviously you wanna have all of your melody running through one mixer track. So do that. So like I've got all my sounds here. I'm gonna highlight them. I've already done it, but I'm gonna right click and just click to this track. Boom. And then the first plugin, this is plugin number 1. So this is like what a lot of like Palace and it's hard to think of all the producers now, but those producers that make those really nice loops, this is a plugin that they use, or they use probably a more expensive version of it. This is super budget friendly, this one, and it's called the MondoMod by Waves. It's like $30, or like it's on sale. Like Waves have sales all the time. As soon as you buy something from them, you'll see tons of ads giving you like ridiculous discounts. So yeah, it's super cheap. It looks like this. And the only 2 things you need to worry about is the FM depth and this frequency dial. Okay, you can turn the AM depth. That's just going to be like a phaser. You can turn that down. You can turn this rotation section down. That's just going to like pan everything to the left and to the right, which doesn't sound great. But yeah, the main thing is this FM knob and this one. Okay, so the higher you turn up this frequency knob here, the quicker the FM depth is going to be, which means, okay, I should have explained this. The FM depth is like what's going to affect the sound. Basically, it's going to detune it. This is a detuner plugin. Why am I'm explaining this so badly? This is the MondoMod, and it is a detuner plugin. It kind of warps the sound, kind of detunes it slightly, and just kind of makes it sound a bit more realistic. Good. Now we're caught up. So the higher you crank this frequency knob, the faster and like the more it's going to play with the detune. So if I play the melody now, it's going to sound pretty bad. Okay, it doesn't sound great. So what you want to do is go, I'd say anywhere between like 0.5 and 1.5, you know, and then that's a good. Okay, it still doesn't sound too great, but then once you found that kind of nice speed to sort of suit your beat, then you come over to the FM depth and just turn it down until it's like, you know, nice and subtle. Okay, good. Like that's all you need to do to it. It really needs to be like a subtle effect, because if it's too obvious, then it's just gonna throw the whole beat off. Now the second plugin, and this is a free plugin, and I've touched on both of these to be fair, but I wanted to really make like a dedicated video towards them and explain to you like, you know, what they do and, you know, how to use them. So the second one is free. It's by Izotope, and like you've probably heard tons of people talk about this, but it's the Izotope vinyl plugin. Now I'll just run through like the settings that I use on pretty much every beat, so you can kind of, you know, if you want to get something similar to my sound, then you can do that. So yeah, it's a free plugin. All you got to do is just download it, install it. It's pretty easy. It's kind of like adds like a vinyl crack sound, you know, like sort of extra noise, you know, kind of muffles the sound a little bit and makes it sound more like, kind of like more lo-fi. But you can play with everything until you get the sound that you want from it. So what I normally do is turn up the dust, not the scratch, the dust, turn the amount up to full, so you can hear it right there, and just back off a little bit. Okay, there's good. Turn the mechanical noise up a bit, the wear only a tiny bit, electrical noise up a tiny bit. Press play. Okay, that's good. And then what I like to do is come down to this year section. This is basically like it just makes it sound less, kind of gets rid of the low end and gets rid of the high end the earlier that you go. So 1930, super like radio style, and then all the way up to 2000s where it's just like neutral, basically, like you can hear the full like frequency range. So I like to go like between 1960 and 1970. And yeah, like I add those plus a few other things depending on the beat, but I add these two plugins on every single beat. So yeah, if you want that kind of realistic, you know, nice little texture, then these two are the way to go for doing that.